My sister, she read me and sprayed something that makes everything smell good, and she didn't do this. She done the stuff that she didn't supposed to, so my mama got mad at her, so she threw him in the pool.
He's so small, his feet barely touch the floor. A white shirt, a little vest, a shy 7-year-old standing in front of a microphone that's almost too big for him. The prosecutor asks softly, "Who is this in your drawing?" The boy points to a stick figure by the pool.
My mama.
Okay. And what is she doing?
Killing my sister.
How is she doing that, AJ?
Putting her hand over her face.
That's my mama, killing my sister. In that moment, an entire courtroom stops breathing. This is the case of Amanda Lewis and the little boy whose words helped send his own mother to prison for the death of his sister, Adrianna. It is one of the most contested, emotionally charged courtroom stories of the last 2 decades, a tragedy at a backyard pool that became a murder trial built around the testimony of a child. Today, we're stepping inside that courtroom, walking through the day Adrianna died, and listening carefully to what 7-year-old AJ said and what he couldn't quite remember. Because the question at the heart of this case is as brutal as it is simple. Did Amanda Lewis murder her daughter? Or did a tragic accident get rewritten through the eyes of a frightened little boy? The morning of Adrianna's death starts quietly. AJ, full name Andrew Jordan, but everyone calls him AJ, is 7 years old. He goes to Graceville Elementary, 1st grade. He tells the court his favorite color is green. That morning, he says, he sleeps in the living room on a little fold-out camping bed. His younger sister, Adrianna, sleeps in the bedroom. Their mother, Amanda Lewis, works nights. When she comes home from her shift, AJ says he's still sleeping. Later, he remembers watching cartoons. Outside, men are working on trees near the property. There's a red wagon, a little bike, some toy tractors, a fire truck. It's the kind of setting that should belong to a normal, forgettable summer day. But it isn't. In the beginning of his testimony, the prosecutor doesn't dive straight into the drowning. He has to prove something first, that AJ understands the difference between truth and lies.
If I told you I had on a green shirt, I got on a green shirt?
No, so
What color shirt do I have on?
white.
Would that be the truth or a lie if I said I had a green shirt on?
A lie.
If I told you my shirt was green, he asks, would that be the truth or a lie? A lie, AJ answers. If he says AJ's shirt is white, that's the truth. When the prosecutor asks what happens to little boys who don't tell the truth, AJ says quietly, they get spanked and they get grounded. Then he's asked the first question that truly cuts. Where is your mother right now? In jail, AJ says. Not in the courtroom, not at home. Jail. He knows she can't be in front of him because, in his words, she can't be here. That simple fact, my mother is in jail, hangs over everything that follows. The prosecutor then gently rewinds AJ's memory. For now, the prosecutor keeps AJ on what he can fix to the ground. Locations, objects, pictures. He pulls up photographs of the property on a screen. The dirt road in front of the trailer, the place where the tree workers were cutting, the corner where AJ's red wagon usually sits, the above-ground pool in the backyard. Where were they working that day? The prosecutor asks. AJ points to the trees in front of the property. Whose wagon is this? Mine. Whose bike is that? Mine. Whose pool is this? Alan's, AJ says at first, then corrects himself. How the wagon got near the pool. AJ says his mother pulled the wagon from the front of the property all the way back beside the pool. That wagon will later become central to both sides. Was it a step stool for a little girl to reach the water, or part of something darker? The prosecutor brings out another piece of evidence, a piece of poster board with crayon drawings on it, stick figures, a round pool, a rectangle for a wagon, a tree, a little boy. Who drew this? He asks. I did, AJ says. This drawing, done earlier during an interview with investigators, is supposed to help him tell the story. The prosecutor asks permission to show it to the jury. Then he kneels down beside the boy.
Tell me, AJ, what is this right here?
My pool.
Your pool?
Yes, sir.
The one that was in this picture that we just saw a few minutes ago?
Yes, sir.
All right. And who is this right here?
Me.
What are you doing, AJ?
I was playing.
All right. Were you playing with anything?
Yes, sir.
What were you playing with?
What is this? He asks, pointing to the large circle. My pool, AJ says. And who is this? Pointing to one of the stick figures. Me. And what are you doing? Playing, AJ says. He says he was in the tree when it happened. The prosecutor points to another figure, taller, outside the PI pool. Who is this? My mama. What is she doing? He asks.
Killing my sister.
How is she doing that, AJ?
Killing my sister, AJ says. How? Putting her hand over her face. His small voice barely lifts over the hum of the courtroom. The prosecutor doesn't push him to mimic the motion when AJ resists, saying he doesn't want to demonstrate it. Instead, he has the jury look again at the drawing. He points to a thick line drawn from the mother figure over the edge of the pool to the smaller stick figure inside. What is this? My mama's arm, AJ says. There are 2 more words written in wobbly child handwriting at the bottom of the paper. She did. What does that mean? The prosecutor asks. She died, AJ explains. She did die. He says too bad also means scary. From there, the prosecutor zooms out. He uses the drawing and the property sketch to anchor AJ's memory of where he was. AJ says that when his sister died, he was first in the tree, then moved closer, toward the corner of the trailer, where he could see the pool and his mother. He also says something else. He remembers firefighters and an ambulance coming. He remembers going to his grandparents' house afterward.
911.
I need an ambulance, please.
911.
I need an ambulance.
What's wrong, ma'am?
My daughter fell in the pool and she's not breathing.
Where at, ma'am?
In Esto. Yes, down the road from the post office at the very end.
He remembers talking to a police officer named Mike and telling him what he saw that same day on camera. Did you tell them the truth? The prosecutor asks. Yes, sir. Did you tell them everything you could remember? Yes, sir. But memory, especially a 7-year-old's memory, isn't a simple recording, and the defense is about to lean hard on that. When it's his turn, the defense attorney doesn't attack the boy. He does something quieter and more methodical. He starts asking about the same day, but from different angles. Were you inside or outside when your sister drowned? Outside. Did she go to the park that day? Yes. Why? My mother told her to. Did Adrianna get drowned before she went to the park or after? After she went to the park. The defense lawyer pauses, then asks the same question a different way. Did she get drowned before she went to the park? Yes, sir. So she got drowned twice, he asks. Before and after? Yes, sir, AJ says. How many times did she get drowned? Twice. Little by little, the defense attorney collects these contradictions. Did Adrianna get drowned outside the pool or inside it? He answers both ways. Did she fall in while standing in the wagon? Did she step over the side? Did she scream? Did he call for the Army helicopter in the sky to help? Did he hit her with a white bucket earlier that day? AJ often says he doesn't remember, and sometimes says he never said those things at all, even when they're in prior interviews. The defense attorney is building an argument that AJ's story is inconsistent, that he might be confused, suggestible, or misled by repeated questioning, that his memory is a patchwork of impressions in adult questions. But there are certain parts AJ does not back away from. He remembers telling his mother, Adrianna is upside down in the pool. He remembers her on the phone, running outside. He remembers that his sister was in the pool and that he couldn't get her out. He remembers that Adrianna was scared of water and that she couldn't swim. And he remembers standing near the tree watching his mother by the pool. Most of all, he remembers what he drew. On that big sheet of paper, he drew himself, the pool, his sister, and his mother's arm reaching in. When asked again and again who killed Adrianna, he doesn't hesitate. My mama. Outside the child's testimony, the rest of the case unfolds in adult language. Paramedics who responded to the scene say Adrianna's drowning looks suspicious. Investigators note that Amanda didn't appear as wet as they would expect for a frantic mother pulling her child from a pool. Neighbors and relatives describe friction between Amanda and Adrianna and a history of behavioral issues. The state's theory is that this wasn't a spontaneous act of madness, but a punishment that turned into murder. Amanda holding her daughter under the water for spraying cleaner and misbehaving. The son plus one, the defense offers a very different version. They argue that Amanda came home exhausted from a night shift, lay down while the children watched TV, and refused their repeated demands to go swimming. At some point, they say, Adrianna sneaked out to the pool with the red wagon, tried to scoop bugs off the surface, and fell in. When AJ told his mother, Adrianna is upside down in the pool, they say she ran outside, dragged her daughter from the water, tried CPR, and called 911 in a panic. They point out that drowning can look eerily silent, no thrashing, no screaming, especially in a small above-ground pool. Wikipedia. To the defense, AJ is a traumatized child trying to make sense of a horrific accident, his memories reshaped by repeated interviews, leading questions, and the enormous emotional pressure around him. To the prosecution, he is the only eyewitness to what really happened. And so this entire case, in a very real sense, becomes a referendum on whether you believe a 7-year-old. Listening to the full testimony, it's easy to feel torn. AJ is articulate one moment and lost the next. He sometimes says yes to two opposite questions in a row. He seems desperate to please the adults who ask him things, and also exhausted by the whole ordeal. At one point, he admits he's getting tired of answering questions. At another, he agrees that looking at the video of his earlier statement helped him remember. For the jury, none of that changed one central fact. When asked in simple terms, when given his own drawing, when allowed to answer in his own words, the boy said his mother drowned his sister. In 2008, Amanda Lewis was convicted of first-degree murder and aggravated child abuse for the death of 7-year-old Adrianna Hutto. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The Son Plus One supporters of Lewis have spent years arguing that she was wrongfully convicted, that a tragic accident was turned into a murder case built too heavily on the testimony of a single child. Others point to AJ's consistency on crucial points, his later public statements reaffirming his original testimony, and the physical evidence at the scene, and conclude that the jury made the only decision they could. The Son Plus One AJ himself is no longer that small boy in a vest. He grew up, was adopted, changed his last name, and now lives far from that Florida trailer and the pool that defined his childhood. In a rare recent interview, he said he still stands by what he told the court all those years ago, that he believes his mother is, in his words, 100% guilty. The son Amanda Lewis maintains her innocence. Her legal team continues to challenge her conviction, arguing that grief, poverty, and a flawed investigation turned her into a villain in her own daughter's story. A simple drawing by a 7-year-old boy trying to show the adults what he says he saw. A line from his mother's arm to his sister's drowning body. In the end, this case forces us to sit with impossible questions. How much weight should a child's testimony carry when the stakes are life and death? Where is the line between a traumatized memory and a truthful one? And once a jury believes a little boy over his mother, is there any way to unwind that decision? Or is the story frozen forever in crayon on courtroom poster board? If you want more deep dives into real courtroom stories like this, cases where a few words, a single drawing, or one decision change everything, let me know in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.